Mhm. Hey, this is Danielle from Black Business Boom in Black Owned Nashville, and I'm live with one of our Black Owned Nashville Gold members, Shaunta Rischer of Entique Travel. How are you, Shaunta?
I'm well. How are you, Danielle?
I am fantastic, and I'm really happy to have you joining me. I appreciate all of your support and being one of our gold members, and I'm excited to learn about your business. Now, tell us about Entique Travel. You're a travel agency, correct?
Yes, it is a travel agency. I have been in business. It'll be 2 years in February of 2022. I started my business because I am an avid traveler, always have been. Truly enjoy the experiences that travel offers. And once I learned that commission is built into any of the travel accommodations that you book, I was like, oh, wait. Say less. We're not leaving any more money on the table. I'm going to take advantage of receiving that commission instead of it staying with that .com site that I was using before I knew better.
Mhm.
And also take advantage of the travel incentives that suppliers and vendors give you as a travel agent.
Oh, I
And
love that. That
yeah,
is
so
fantastic. What has been your favorite place to travel?
um, I would say currently my favorite place to go was Jamaica. I went to Montego Bay, spent 4 days there, and just had a magnificent cultural immersion and staying where I was. And the people were so friendly. And at the resort that I stayed in particular, we had like a stay at one, play at three advantage. So we could visit the two neighboring resorts with free access, so to speak. And just the attentiveness, it was just fabulous while we were there.
Okay, I love it. What's your favorite type of trip to plan for your customers?
My favorite type of trip to plan is definitely international travel packages because most people are a little fearful about how to go about putting those things together. And I
Mhm.
love the dig and search for finding just the perfect package for the individual. And so back to also, oh, sorry, there's Nat in here. The name of the business, Antique, it stands for entirely unique. And so the experience of any traveler is always unique to that individual. And so I do my best to cater to the individual and make their experiences as unique as they are. And I truly become like your travel concierge. So from the research to the execution of booking the travel, making sure that you know what you need to take care of before you travel. I check in with you the day after you arrive at your destination just to make sure everything is to your liking and see if I can do anything to make anything better if necessary. And troubleshoot if there are any issues that arise so that you can enjoy your time the best you can. I'll be the one on the phone dealing with any wait times for reaching suppliers or anything like that.
That's fantastic. And I think that's definitely one of the benefits in dealing with a travel agent because a lot of folks are just like, well, I'll just go book on my own. But again, you have to spend all the time researching, finding the best accommodations, actually booking. If anything happens, you're on the phone, it's messing up your trip. And even just research as far as, experiences once you get there, it can take a whole lot of time trying
Yes.
to put all of that together. So really having someone who's invested in being your partner in your travel and making sure that it's a favorable experience is important. I think that's definitely one of the benefits of working with a travel agent. Tell us about what other sort of benefits versus us just booking on our own. Why should we come to Antique or any travel agent for that matter to help us when planning a trip?
Absolutely. I definitely recommend, establishing a rapport with Antique Travel myself or with, like you said, any travel agent because we are your advocate for making sure that your travel is as great as it can be. Time is, I feel, the greatest commodity because we all want freedom of time, and
Yep,
travel
and we
allows
cannot
us
get
to
it
do
back.
that. Right. If it's gone, it's gone. And so I think, in addition to that, there's also the financial benefit because people are not always able to afford travel in one lump sum. And so booking with a travel agent gives you the option of payment plans, putting down a low deposit, and then paying it off over time up until 45 days before your departure.
Mm.
We also have access to financing, depending on the particular agent, if they've taken the training in order to offer that service, so that you can extend that pay if you would like to.
That's a huge benefit.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a huge benefit. Travel, especially international travel, can get pricey. And so it is great to be able to pay over time is definitely a huge benefit. While all of the other benefits of kind of having that time and having someone who is your advocate, I think that it's a great way to go for someone who's planning travel, especially if you have a little time to plan. Now, if we were looking for like a last minute type of situation, is that something that Entique help us with? If we were like, hey, I really want to take a New Year's Eve trip, and that's in a few weeks, is that something you can help us with?
Yes, it is. I, work with all things travel essentially. So whether it's a rental car, a hotel, flight, I can assist you with it. Travel packages, vacation homes, all of those things, and even sporting events and concerts that you might be interested in attending. I also have a back office to help you with booking those. So, the same way that you would be going to a .com, like
Mhm.
Entique Travel can assist you with those things. You just have a person that you can actually call on, someone that's, actually taking trainings and webinars to make sure you're current on what's happening in the industry. So
I
we
love
all know that we live in this world post COVID where COVID and vaccine requirements are changing constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And so your travel agent can help you stay up to date with those things. And in no means am I going to pass along every single thing that I learn all the time. I do put things out there in my travel group. It's on Facebook under the name Entique Travel.
Okay.
And
So
so
make sure
when
everybody goes and joins the Entique Travel group.
yes, please do.
Yes.
We
And then
focus on,
you do some group trips as well, right?
yes, I actually just put out information about the next takeover this past October. I did Cancun takeover with some 32 travelers, including one of my business partners, because I'm also a travel agent coach. And so I've brought in 5 individuals into the industry and helped them to also take advantage of what we all love to do, which is travel.
Tell us
Um,
about the takeover.
The takeover was fantastic. We had a grand time. We were in Costa Mujeres, technically, but you have to get into Cancun, and our excursions were in the Cancun area. So we spent um, time, although we traveled like together as a group of 34, we weren't always together. Everybody was able to create the experience that they wanted. So we offered 7 different excursions. You
Mm.
could do all 7 if you wanted to have your time dedicated that way, or you could stay at the resort the majority of the time and experience what they had to offer on site. I
I love
personally only went out and did a day excursion on the Saturday that we were there, which was a blast. We rappelled into a sea note swim, went zip lining, um, went to the jungle, and visited the Tulum Mayan ruins. So it was a long day, and it started at 5 a.m., but it was well worth it.
And like you said, it's optional. So I love that. And I think a lot of times people are like, I don't know about the group trips because they feel like,
Mhm.
oh God, it's going to be all day. I got to be bothered with people all day.
No, not at
And
all.
that's not necessarily what I'm trying to do. I think these type of trips are really a great way, especially for folks that are curious about solo travel, but
Hmm.
scared to really step out there and do it on their own because like you said, you can show up by yourself, but you have a group if you want to, be
Yes,
involved with the group.
you
So I
know
think it's
who.
a perfect opportunity for
Mhm.
those that are interested in doing some solo travel, but kind of scared to step out there and do it. But also, because I see people ask about solo traveling a lot, and it's one of my favorite things to do. but everybody doesn't feel so comfortable with that. But I think
Mhm.
also in working with a travel agent is a great opportunity when you're looking to do solo travel, because even though that person's not right there with you, they know what your plan is, and they know where you are, they know what you're doing for a lot of your trips, so they can help you to kind of navigate what that trip would look like as a solo person. So I definitely encourage folks that are curious about solo travel to get with Shaunta and Entique Travel as well, and stay abreast of the trips that they have going on. But Shaunta can also plan something custom for you. Shaunta, tell people the best way to find you. I've dropped your Papa link in the caption, but if someone is on social media right now and they want to find you, what's going to be the best way?
The best way to find me is at Entique Travel. All one word, no underscores, no anything like that. Entique Travel on Facebook. I have a business page, which I don't tend to very often.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if you drop a message in there every once in a while, I do get them.
Okay.
I'm most active in the travel group. So if you ask to join that, I can grant you access to that. And then on Instagram.
At Entique Travel on Instagram, right?
Yes, that's
All
right.
right. Go join the travel group. I imagine there's a wealth of information there in the group, and that's where Shaunta is most active. So make sure that you go join Entique Travel Group on Facebook and go follow Entique Travel at Entique Travel on Instagram. Thank you so much, Shaunta. This was wonderful. I'm really excited about your business. I'm excited for what's coming from it, as now that everybody is starting to get back out and travel.
Yes.
I think one of the most important things that you said is that you're helping folks to stay abreast of what's going on with COVID and travel, because we traveled in August to 2 different international locations and it was a hot mess. Like
Uh-oh.
trying to keep up with, like, for here we got to test 3 days before, and then we got to test one
Yeah.
day before we. It was a hot mess. So even having someone to keep you abreast of what's going on with the COVID travel situation for your destinations, where to go get tests, things like that is very
Mhm.
important
And
during this time.
especially the timeline, like you said, because I went to Costa Rica at the beginning of November um, to do some research and fill out what I'm going to do for the Costa Rica takeover, which is next October. And I put information out about that yesterday. But I knew that while I was there, the testing requirements were going to change from being 72 hours to 24 hours. And so it was like, okay, make a mental note,
You know what?
schedule my test the day before I leave, where I'm used to doing it, when I get there.
It's a hot mess, I tell
Yeah,
you.
it's very
Where
different.
is the Costa Rica takeover going to be? What part of
They,
Costa
we will be in Guanacaste,
Okay.
flying into Liberia. So it's October 20th through the 24th. I put the flyer out yesterday in the group and on my social media platforms. Let me look at it real quick
Fantastic.
so I
Yeah, I
can.
love Costa Rica. We were there in May, and I tell again, even when you're choosing a destination, like we didn't find out till like 2 days before that like everything was shutting down at 9 p.m. So
Mhm.
we got there thinking we were gonna turn up and we were not.
Like
Like
we
you
gonna.
couldn't even be out on the beach past like 6 p.m. and you couldn't be on the streets after 9. So having someone to let you know, like when you're planning something, like I don't know, you may want to think about this, as you're planning your vacation.
Yeah.
Super important. So make sure that you all dial in with Entique Travel. Again, the group on Facebook is Entique Travel, and then at Entique Travel on Instagram. Thank you so much, Shaunta. It was a pleasure
Thank you,
to chat
Danielle.
with you and learn about your business. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Make sure you go and follow Entique Travel. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Happy traveling.